Should I work for a startup? That's a very good question. And my answer is it depends. And not on the startup, but on you. My name is Modesta Lillian Buguni, and today on Purpose and Excellence, we're going to talk about what it takes, the things you should consider before taking the plunge into the world of startup businesses. And so you've looked at this startup. You're thinking, wow, they're really enjoying themselves. It's a team of dynamic, visionary go-getters. And thinking, should I take the plunge? And I'm glad you're asking, because this is a decision that you should make lightly. And so there are 5 things I'd like you to consider before you take the plunge into the roller coaster world that is startup business. The first thing I want you to consider is your purpose, vision, mission, and values. Startup or not, you need to work for an organization that shares your path, that shares your standards. And so if this organization that you're thinking of working with, well, has no direction, or maybe they're completely bent the other way, you need to listen to those alarm bells in your head, because chances are your career will be really short-lived. But if you think, looking at the leaders and listening to the owners, that they really do have a direction and is somewhere aligned with where you want to go in life, they just haven't written it down or institutionalized it, then yeah, take a chance, join them, and maybe you can be part of the team that does that. The second thing I'd urge you to consider before working for a startup is your risk appetite. There are a lot of pros for working for a startup. So for instance, I believe when you work for a startup, you get exposed to so much work. You get to contribute in areas that you otherwise wouldn't had you been in an organization that has layers and layers and layers of reporting lines. And so that's a plus. You're really stretched, and I believe you can make mid-management in a shorter time at a startup than you would in a larger organization. The cons now. Can you stomach months on end with no client, which translates to many months with little or no pay? Are you comfortable with making it up as you go along because you don't have the systems and structures? Or being stretched as you contribute in fields that are completely alien to you, having to work in areas that are new and you haven't had experience in? If you're okay with that, if that's exhilarating, then yeah, startups are for you. Or if you're thinking, no, I want to walk in the morning, do what's been defined for me to do, leave at a certain time, get my pay on a certain date, I don't want any other questions, I don't want variety, like clockwork, things should be in place, then no, startup business is not your environment. The third thing I want you to consider when you're looking at working for a startup is your desired job tenure. You see, most startups are here today, gone tomorrow. About 80% don't make it to the second anniversary. A few will make it to 5, and those that make it to 10 years, well, I take my hat off to them. And so you have to ask yourself, do I want to start and finish my career in the same organization? Because if so, that career will be really short-lived at a startup. Or are you thinking, you know what, I can ride this out for however long it takes, because I know, for instance, if you were to end business in 3 to 5 years' time, I would have gained so much more that when I go to another place, I will go there at a higher level than I was when I started at the startup. And so you can look at it that way. But if you're thinking, no, I'd rather have job security, whatever that means these days, then a startup environment is not for you. Number 4, your leadership goals. If you want to get into leadership or start a business in the not too distant future, then a startup environment is right for you. Because where else would you learn firsthand how to multitask, how to take risks, how to make decisions with little or no information? Startup is a great environment for you to do this. If you're the type of person that likes to see things from the ground up, that would like to be part of the team that strategizes on how to see a business through the challenges and solutions of infancy, adolescence, and growth, then this is the environment for you. Now, the 5th thing, and the last but certainly not least, that I want you to consider is your sense of belonging in community. If you're the type of person who likes small, cozy, I like everybody's name and I feel their pain environments, then a startup is just a place for you. Because startups usually start with a few people. They may have their own specialized areas, but they really interact, they communicate, they work closely. And so if this is the type of thing that you like, then yes, do consider it. So you're asking me, but Modesta, what do you think? What I think is, if you're just starting out in your career, yes, do that. Because the pros far outweigh the cons. But if you're in mid-career and you have family responsibilities, for instance, you really have to look at vested interests. So are you a founder? Are you a partner? Do you have equity stake in the startup? Because if you don't, and if you haven't planned on how to take care of your family, it could really shake your foundation. So this is what I think. I would work for a startup. I would work for a startup any day of the week. But there are a lot of things I've learned along the way that had I had the information. Now, with hindsight, I would plan differently in my pursuits. Let me know what you think. So many businesses are being started up right now. So many people have great ideas that we'd like to rally behind. I want to know what your experiences have been. Starting a business, working for a startup, are you considering getting into these fields? Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Speak to us on our social media platforms. I'd love to hear from you. So until next time on Purpose and Excellence, it's been a pleasure to be here with you.